Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit kind of different. I kind of want to make this a series of drugstore makeup, but today I will be doing first impressions of drugstore makeup. So I just came back from Ulta and I just bought a full face of makeup of just drugstore makeup. So I kind of wanted to do a first impressions as well as do a all drugstore makeup look. And as I just kicked over my trash can, but if you hear something in the background, you guys all know it's Maggie and she's coming in and out of my filming room. So if you hear that, that's her. But without further ado, we'll just jump right into the video. So first thing, I always use a drugstore primer. I did want to try some other ones, but the one that I wanted to try from NYX was out of stock. So I'm just going to use my Ulta brand primer. And I'm sorry for that zit on my face. Trust me, it's grossing me out too. But I'm going to put the primer. I do like this primer. It doesn't feel like too liquidy. It feels kind of like almost like a gel, which I feel like that is a good primer when it feels kind of jelly, because then you know it's like going into your pores and it's like making sure that your pores don't look ginormous. I just realized I have makeup swatches on my hand. So the next thing I got the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and then I got the shade 222 True Beige. I am curious if I'm actually this color or not, but this, I'm not really a fan of this type of foundation just because then I would have to absolutely use my hand instead of just, and it just came out. Did you see that? Like, look how much that came out. That is entirely too much to go on my face, but we will try it. So I'm just gonna take my Eco Tools brush. This is also a very drugstore. Eco Tools is at Ulta, and it is one of the cheaper brushes, but okay. I didn't know if it had like a weird smell to it or not, but all right, this isn't that bad. It doesn't feel like too thick on my face, which I like in a foundation because I never like, obviously no one likes their foundation to look cakey. So far, coverage is not, maybe just on my skin tone, it doesn't feel, like, does it actually say full coverage on it? That's what I want to know. Does this say full coverage? It doesn't say like full coverage on it, so I'm not gonna completely bash it on not being full coverage because it did not say that it was going to be full coverage. All right, next thing I picked up, I know this is a fan favorite of a lot of YouTubers, so I had to pick this up. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I picked up the color 150. Okay. So you just take this and you move it around. I'm curious at how much is actually gonna come out. I guess you have to keep clicking it until something comes out, maybe? Am I missing something? All right, there we go. It's starting to come out now. So I'm just gonna keep clicking it. So it does take a little bit to get out onto it, but then this is kind of what it looks like if we can kind of see. I don't know if that's focused or not. I don't know. Can you see that it's a coming out of the container like that? And it's nice because it already has a little brush thing. So you can just do, oh, okay. This is definitely very yellowish for my skin tone. It definitely does not feel thin. which is good because concealer, I don't want it to feel thin. And we will test it and see if it covers a zit, if it's full coverage, which is what I want in a concealer. So let's try it. We're gonna blend it out. I'm gonna use my beauty blender because that's how I do all of my concealers. So I wanted to give it a fair chance, of course. I don't think anything was covering that zit anyways, so I don't know how I feel about it right now. It is blending well, but I don't know if it's just because my skin is so dry right now, being winter time, or it is really bringing out like the crackage and how dry my skin is. I'm probably gonna have to give it another try when my skin isn't so dry. It kind of covered up my zit, but I'm not sure if something could really cover that up because it's pretty big. Once you start blending it in though, it doesn't look as yellowish as it comes out to be, so that's a plus for me because I didn't want a yellowish concealer at all. So I couldn't find a setting powder that I was considered buying. I just didn't do enough research before doing a setting powder drugstore. So Ulta is considered an affordable brand. Some people call it a drugstore brand, but you can't find Ulta in a drugstore. You can only find it in Ulta. But I'm going to use Ulta's setting powder, and I'm going to take that on my beauty blender, and we are going to make sure that this concealer does not crease, of course. And let's dust it away. I already know I like Ulta setting powder, even though my favorite is the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder. So the next thing I picked up was from Rebel London. This is a highlight, contour, and blush set. So I wanted to try it because it's all in one, and then I can just use the same palette for everything. So the first thing I always do is contour my face. This is a little bit smaller, so I can't really get in what I usually use for my bronzing brush. So I'm just gonna use the Eco Tools. They don't write. Oh, this is a full blush. This is what it's called, but I'm not gonna use this for blush. I'm gonna use it for contour. So let's just see how pigmented this is. I feel like nothing came out of that. I don't know. Like, it looks like something's coming out on camera, but in person, maybe we just have to build it up. So, see, this is a good example. So on camera, it looks like I already contoured a little bit, but I didn't. So this looks like I really did, but I didn't. Let's just try the other side. Okay, I see it now. You just have to build it up, which every drugstore makeup you are going to have to build up, so I am not too disappointed in this. I do like the shade. It's a little bit of a cool tone, which is good. So far, the contour is okay. It's just not super pigmented, so you're gonna have to build that up over time. Next thing, we are going to dig into the blush, and I actually picked up an e.l.f. brush. I actually went to CVS after I was done with Ulta, because I had to pick up my prescription, but I picked up an e.l.f. blush brush, and I wanted, Oh, that's nice. I do like e.l.f.'s brushes. I wanted a more of an angle for blush. So I'm going to take this blush, and hopefully it's not too pigmented because I'm not really a blush person, but we will try it. I guess it brought a little bit color back into my face, which is good. It's not like super pigmented, which I like, but other people might want a little bit more of a blush than I do. I do like this color though. It's not too pinkish, but it has a very soft color to it, even though it looks pretty intense in the packaging. It is not that color on your face, which is good. So we're gonna try the highlighting next. I'm gonna just take my highlighting brush from Real Techniques, which is another affordable brand at Ulta. I think you probably can get it other places too, but let's just try their highlighter. Okay, I like it so far. I do like that highlighter. I don't know if you can tell. I do like it though. So I would buy this again. I will probably actually use it because I did like the blush. The contour shade definitely have to build up over time though. It's not going to give you a straight pigment right from the beginning, so you're going to have to keep going over and over again. The highlighter on the other hand, you do not really have to go over and over again. The highlighter works right away. So far, I'd probably buy this again, actually. So next thing, I also could not find an eye primer that I wanted to try. So I'm actually just going to take the concealer, since that is drugstore, and put it on my eye, and then blend it out with my finger. Okay, so the eyeshadow palette that I picked up and I wanted to try this time around, this is the CoverGirl Nudes. This is True Naked. I don't know if it has a different name. It says 805 Nudes, so maybe that's its name, but I do like these colors, and it's a little bit of a more natural type of look that I kind of usually do on an everyday basis, so maybe this will be added to my everyday pile that I have on my vanity over there, but we will see. And it comes with this brush that no one uses, so I'm going to throw that out and I'm going to use my own brushes. So they don't have names on it, so I can't tell you what color I'm digging into, but I'm going to take this middle shade right here, and it's kind of like a lightish, oh, you can't see that. Take this shade right here, which is a lightish brown, and I'm going to use it on a fluffy brush. This is an EcoTools brush. Like I said before, EcoTools is very affordable brand that is also at Ulta. I don't know if you can get this like EcoTools other places. I'm sure you can. But I want to take that as my transition shade and put it in my outer crease. Alright, first impression, that was just one time digging into the color and then tapping it off. So far, I think it is very pigmented for being a drugstore eyeshadow palette. So if you actually look at these two colors that I'm considering for my outer corner, I usually go in with a more brown type of shade. I was worried because it looks a little bit shimmery in the palette, but on the skin it doesn't look too shimmery or like in your face kind of sparkle, so I'm actually going to take that brown shade and go in my outer corner. Now that my outer corner is done, I'm actually going to dig, let's actually test it out. Let's test it and see how pigmented this one shade is. It's like almost like a brown shimmer. You can see that. More of a brownish shimmer to it. I am actually still going to dig into that and put that all over my lid. I'm actually pretty impressed of how it went on my eye. Let's highlight a little bit of my inner corner So I'm going to take this lightest shade in the palette and I'm going to highlight my inner corner with this. Alright, next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my Eco Tools angled brush and I'm going to dig into, I actually really like that metallic color, so I'm going to take the color that I put all over my lid and go under my eye, just on the lower lash line. Oh no! I did find a primer for my face, which was the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Guess that will be on my next first impressions video. So I picked up a NYX. I do like the felt tip eyeliners, especially if I'm going to do a wing. They had different felt tips, I guess you could say. This one is extremely thin, so I wanted to try it because sometimes when you get a drugstore eyeliner and you get a felt tip, the felt tip kind of gets thick over time, which I didn't really like. Ooh, I do like that already. If you can see that, how pointy and felt tip that is. That is so pointy and it's so little, which I'm probably gonna like that. Okay. I do have other liquid eyeliners from NYX that I do like, so I'm going to just try this and see if I like it. Alright, I've done the eyeliner part of my eye. I do like this. It is very pigmented, it's easy to apply. It's very black, which I like. I'm going to try a wing now, so we'll see how that goes. So to do the actual, I don't even think these wings match, but oh well. Trying to get better at winged eyeliner than what I have been doing in the past. But to get that sharp edge on the end, this is very easy to do it. To do the actual wing part though was a little bit more difficult. It is very black, so it has that. I did find, so when I do my eyebrows, I like, which that video is soon to be coming, but I like to do a pomade instead of a eyebrow pencil because I have to make eyebrows. So a pencil usually does not work for me. At least for my entire eyebrow, it doesn't work. But, so I got the NYX Tame and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade. Alright, already just digging in, that is a good sign that it picks up well, which I like to have a good pomade that does this. So it'd be nice if I could find like an affordable one that looks like that, but maybe we have to build it up a little bit. But I'm not sure if this color is the color I need. It's a little bit light. I definitely like the Ulta brand better. This formula is a little bit weird and it's kind of almost too creamy, if that makes sense. Like I just put it on this top part of my eye, and with my Ulta brand, as soon as I put it on it stays, and then I can build it up a little bit more because up in that top corner is very sparse on my eyebrows. And now that I'm trying to build it up on that corner and I brush it down, it takes the color away. So, not sure if I like this because now I'm just like dabbing in that corner, which it's staying that way, but like if I wipe it, it just takes that entire color away and it just looks patchy again. So this almost feels like a little bit too creamy. It does feel light, which I like, but there are better pomades that, I don't even remember how much I paid for this, to be honest. Alright, this pomade was $6.99, and I think you can get the Ulta pomade for the same price or a little bit less, and I do like that texture a little bit more. It's a little bit more putty, I guess you would say, than this. This feels extremely creamy, and I feel like I'm wiping the color away every time I fill it in. Like, I feel like I'm taking the color away. Like, just again, I just took it away. It's kind of annoying. That, I don't know if I'll be buying this again. This is not getting any better. This is a big, no, I won't buy that again. Moving on. I have 2 more things to go over. So the first thing is mascara. I thought this brush was pretty cool and I wanted to try it out. This is the CoverGirl Blast Pro Mascara. Obviously in extreme black, and it says it's waterproof. Here is the brush for the mascara, which is pretty unique. Definitely looks like it's going to give you bold, sexy lashes. I did build it up with a couple of coats, as I always do, but at first I wasn't sure how to use that type of brush. It was a little bit confusing at first, but I think I might have figured it out. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. It's not blowing me away. That's definitely a thing. It's not blowing me away. I have other mascaras that I like. Even affordable ones, like there's the Ulta brands that I always like to use. But maybe if I figure out how to use that brush a little bit better, then it will be a good one. I don't know. To finish off this look, I'm going to go in with Maybelline's Vivid Matte Lip, and this is Gray Envy. This is shade 2. I do like to have, like, this is almost like a pinkish type nude, so let's just try it. It feels very creamy. I don't know if it's going to dry down a little bit, but I do like the color, so that's a plus. The applicator of how to put it on was very easy. It's very thin, and you can get a pristine line with it. So that's it for my first impressions of drugstore makeup. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did like it, and I can make more videos of this. I'm gonna probably make them no matter what you think or say. So if you did like this, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!